Welcome back to the shooting channel, and today we're at Bisley, Long Siberia, and we're doing a film ongoing from the cheap gun versus expensive gun, and we've come back and I've picked a range of guns from £500 to £1,000. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go start from the back and work through. I'm going to shoot a couple of 3 pairs with each one and just talk you through each one and what they are and where they go. Again, thanks to Fiocchi, I'm using Fiocchi F Blacks for this. Fantastic value for money cartridge. You cannot beat them for a cartridge. Olympic cartridge, but Olympic cartridge at a sensible price. So the first gun I'm going to shoot and try out is I'm going to try the classic double. This is the 499 one, the £500 one. Let's see what it's like. Pull. So that was the classic double. Again, I can't fault it for the money. The good thing about this is it's got a little bit of weight. So if you're shooting clays with it, when you're game shooting, you probably don't want to have this. So if you're going to buy one of these for game shooting, this is probably a little bit on the heavy side. But if you're going to buy one of these for clay shooting, it stops you throwing the gun all over the side. If I've got big hands, fits there. So for the money, you can't really fault it. I just probably would alter as more of a clay gun. It is a game gun officially, but because of the weight, you wouldn't want to walk around a field with one of these. But generally, you can't really knock them. A good all-round gun for the money. My next gun is going to be the Brownie Medalist. Now, for the money and for the reliability, I personally, in my lifetime, have seen lots of these guns. I think these are cracking guns, and I think this is one thing that Browning don't do anymore that I think they should have done. It's a Brownie Medalist. It's made by Fierce in Italy, but they're just a cracking all-round gun. Let's see. Pull. Pull. Now the pair. Pull. Pull. Again, one of my favourite budget guns. £500 for a Browning, you can't knock it. One of my favourite. And in a way, this is where, because Browning stopped doing these and everyone knew they were made in Italy, this is where Bettinzoli have kind of jumped in to the medalist section, really. If you ever come across one of them, brilliant value for money guns. Don't recoil. I mean, I'm using 28 gram Fiocchi Blacks. Don't particularly recoil, just a good, well-balanced gun. My next gun is the Yieldit Sporter. Again, Yieldit's now come up with a lot of different guns in their price range, but this is their bog standard, good on Yieldit Sporter. We launched these on the channel best part of 5 years ago, and they're just going really strong. It's a great value for money gun. Let's see what these shoot like. Pull. Pull. Now the pair. Pull. Just get some more of my Fiocchi cartridges. Ball. 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 Again, I can't knock it. If I've only got that sort of money, I really cannot knock this gun. Good recoil pad on it. Good solid all-round gun. Okay, it is a sporter officially, but you can pretty much do anything with this. So a good all-round budget gun for between £500 and £1,000. Now I'm going to come back to my Bettinzolli. Again, these are probably one of my favourite guns on the market at the moment. A, because of the reliability, the quality is up with some of these top-end Italian guns, and the sensible money. They're around about £900 to £1,100 to £1,200. So you cannot fault this gun for the money. And if you look at them, they look like an expensive gun. They've got nice engraving, they come off with nice wood, they're just a really well balanced gun. Pull. 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 And what I'm doing this one, I'm just going to bring the adjustable comb one in as well. So again, this is an adjustable comb, same thing but adjustable comb version. And this is where, again, you won't see them advertising everywhere, because they're trying to put, rather than spend the money on advertising, they're trying to put the money back into performing the guns. They're a nice little family company and they've just developed their brand. Pull. 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 So again, I'm just going to try and show these together to you. That is really your Bettinzolli, good, faithful, good Italian guns. The adjustable comb on the adjustable comb one, again, I took one of these off, and they're not like a cheap manufacturer of guns. They are, if you take that off, you can actually move it up, down, left, right. So they haven't just whacked a cheap comb on it. They've looked at what the expensive guns do, and they've tried to look at them and do the same thing, because it's no point just having up, down, you need to have left, right as well. So again, I think these two as a gun are great value for money for what somebody wants for that sort of figure. So if you want to spend between £900 and £1,100, look at the Bettinzolli range, give them a chance. So now I've got the good old faithful Maruku, the old type of Maruku. And again, there's thousands of these. There's thousands of these out there, but they're Maruku 6000. And again, they're another gun. They're low in the comb, but they're just a really well balanced gun. if you can find an old Maruku, they're great value for money. Paul? Paul? Now the pair. Paul? I mean, if you look at how I just patterned that, I mean, absolutely balls of it. It absolutely dusted it. So, they've just got it right. These old Maruks, they go on forever. They just got everything right. They've got the choking right. They've got the balance right. They've got the stock dimensions right. They just work. Paul? Paul? So that's the Maruku 6000. Got drop pins, drop points, nice engraving on it. Can't really fault these. Great value for money. And for $699, £700, great value for money guns. And then my last one, and this is probably the generally in people's heads, this will probably be the most expensive gun on that rack. But they're not actually. You can pick a second-hand MK70, 5 to 10 years old. You can pick one up for under £1,000. Admittedly, the newer ones you won't, but the older ones, this is got the same sort of engraving. Somebody's put a pad on the back of it, so they put their own recoil pad. This is probably the most common one of the whole lot on the rack. Paul? 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 So there we go. I've shot each one. Okay, the Maruku as a whole, the Maruku is obviously one of Browning's flagship guns, because remember, this gun is the only off-the-shelf gun to have won numerous Olympic and Commonwealth medals out of all the ones. Generally, the top-end guns, most people that win medals with them, they are custom made. I can name quite a few people that's won Olympic and Commonwealth and world medals with a Maruku than any other gun. So this is one gun that is well worth. It's in this price range because they've been around for a long time, and you can get older ones that are underneath £1,000. And that's why I've put this in my £500 to £1,000 bracket. So the new ones, yes, they're not going to be under £1,000, but you can get a 10-year-old, 15-year-old model for under £1,000. So this is why that is in my brace bracket. So that is my £500 to £1,000 bracket of guns that I believe are well worth looking at, and something you should be looking at before you look at any other guns. Don't forget to go to your shooting schools and have a look at them. Any decent shooting school will spend the time with you, even if you're spending £700. Any decent shooting school will spend that time with you and get it right, because we've looked at 6 or 8 guns there, and each gun has got different stock dimensions. Make sure, the most important thing is make sure the height is right. Otherwise, you won't see over the top of there. I hope you've enjoyed this programme. Please like and subscribe. Any comments you would like to make, please comment below. If there's any films you'd like us to make, please comment below, and we'll do our best to bring you the films that you want. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.